Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Marsha Kristen and this is Heart Connected Communication. And today in this video, we get to learn 6 important things about feelings. This is really the number 2, or really it's up there as almost the number 1 life-changing, relationship-changing skill. We get to upgrade our understanding, our learning, and remember what feelings are really about. So let's go ahead and get to the heart of it. Hi, if you're new to my channel, this is your first video, then welcome. And I've been using this framework, this picture, to kind of show the different parts that we'll be going over in regards to nonviolent communication. It shows the 4 parts and the 3 different ways we can use them, like connecting with ourselves, expressing ourselves honestly, and the empathy piece. In the first video, I looked at universal human needs. And you can go and look at that video, and you're welcome to look at this one too, because it will be going over the pieces in regards to how our feelings are connected to our needs, and that can support us with new habits of connection. So one of the number 1 questions that I often get when I'm sharing nonviolent communication, it's by Rosenberg, is how am I supposed to know what my universal needs are? How am I supposed to translate my judgments? What are the needs that are underneath? I don't even know how to get there. Well, thankfully, ta-da, we have feelings, yay. So they're already there. And I know a lot of people, that's very vulnerable to start talking about feelings because of what we've learned about them and the patterns that we have and how we want to belong and what we've been socialized as to believe about feelings. So it can be really challenging. It can feel vulnerable. Thankfully, you get to do it hopefully in the comfort of wherever you are. And these are things that we've had that we really need to relearn our relationships. What have you been taught about feelings? What have you taken away from your experience in life so far? I know for me, I always oozed feelings, and yet I was often called too sensitive or told that I was taking things too seriously. And that was very confusing to me. So I kind of learned that certain feelings are okay, and these ones are not okay. And that if you have them, you actually cause harm to other people, so you need to keep them to yourself. Or I had to stuff them, or saying sorry if I cried. Anger was something really scary, because it was people were acting out of those feelings. Maybe you've learned that you need to manage your feelings, keep them in check. To survive, you couldn't have them, you needed to put them aside. Have you also been taught, oh, people cause your feelings, like the language of, that hurt my feelings, or that made me mad? That certainly, I got a sense that feelings were caused by the external world, so I had no control of my feelings because I couldn't control the external world. I don't know if that sounds familiar. Go ahead and put in the comments what kind of things you learned about feelings. And if they're still serving you, because they might be, or what's not so serving. I also learned that if you were with a feeling too long, you'd be stuck in there forever, like you had no choice about what you were going to do with those feelings. Like you didn't want to go down and just be overtaken by them. This sense that you could be overwhelmed. So I got a sense that feelings were dangerous, and also that there was no ability to cope with them. Nobody was talking about how to cope with them except to shove them away. So the first important thing to relearn about feelings is feelings are information. Our body sensations are things that are giving us information. The labels of emotions that we put on them, that's information that we need. Like if we are sick to our stomach, we would know to take care of that. Number 2, feelings are results of needs. No one makes us feel. It is not the external world. So if the external world is causing us to feel, where's our power? It's out there. So we're going to reclaim it, that we have the power and responsibility of our feelings that are connected to our needs. If we have feelings that we enjoy, then that might be connected to needs that are being met. If we have feelings we don't enjoy, then they're connected to needs that are not met. So number 3, feelings are neither good nor bad. They just are. And because they're information, I can translate them into needs. So the feelings can rest on those needs. So it's if we react out of our feelings, those are the experiences we haven't enjoyed. The more we are able to connect with our feelings, get the wisdom from them, and connect to those needs, the more we'll be able to hold our needs and the needs of others. So number 4, connected to this, feelings are like weather systems. They come and they go. So if we end up being taught to manage our feelings by denying them, shoving them down, pushing them away, they kind of just go down to the basement and they go and lift weights and they come out with more strength even in times that we might not even want them to. So there's a lot of different emotional learning information, all kinds of things out there, often talking about namings of feelings. And yet, honestly, I've not ever heard anything besides nonviolent communication that says feelings are results of needs and connects them to that. Because then we name our feelings and they have no place to go, and that's hard. But when they're connected to needs, the more likely we are to actually take responsibility for them, understand when somebody else is having feelings, and we'll move towards those needs, which is a lot more life-serving, which is related to number 5. When we increase our capacity to be with feelings, we're more resilient, we're more responsive rather than reactive. So it's really important to be able to be with even feelings we don't enjoy. And number 6, we can make a distinction between feelings and thoughts. So you can think of it on a continuum, feelings and thoughts and judgments and evaluations. Very different than energy in motion, emotions, body sensations. And when we discern them, we can get a lot more information. Because often our thoughts, we can't always rely on. It's not always the truth, okay? It's part of our quick to making a judgment, and we don't want to base everything on unnecessarily a thought. And when we think it over and over, we almost make it become true, and our brain likes to prove it. That's shown with the brain research. So if we can increase our capacity and then discern between feelings and thoughts, it can be helpful. Now on this continuum, it's not that judgments are wrong and feelings are right. It's that we can actually learn and to see where we are on the continuum. And if I have a thought mixed with feeling or feeling mixed with thought, that gives me a place to pause and kind of check it out. What more might I be feeling? Often our mixed with thoughts might be disrespected, abandoned, betrayed, misunderstood. Kind of the ED words are often that are mixed with thought and feeling. And then I can get to another layer, like if I'm feeling a sense of betrayal, maybe it's that I'm angry and I'm hurt and I'm wanting protection and I'm wanting trust and consideration. So it's mostly knowing where we are. It's the same things with needs and strategies. Strategies are the ways that we meet needs. It's the place we have conflict, actually. The universal needs, it's important to discern the difference between a strategy and a need, but not one is right or wrong. It's just helping us get more connection. So I just want you to take note of language that we have that actually accentuates this merging of feelings and thoughts. We say things like, I feel like, and then we say a thought. We use the word feeling, even though it's a thought. Or I feel that, you're being ridiculous. So it's something that we need to sort of reclaim that I feel sad. That's an actual emotion. I feel a tightness in my chest. That's a feeling and a sensation. So that can be helpful to pay attention to the language. It's just that our language gets created out of culture. And because of where we've come from and how we've evolved and our cultures that have evolved, the language is almost perpetuating the consciousness of disconnection and power over. So we're wanting to just kind of come back and remember that we have the language we have within us for connection and needs-based consciousness and more life-serving ways of being. The last part is a little bit of practice. You can do this standing or sitting. So if you're by yourself, you can do whatever you want. But I invite you to think of a judgment, just one sentence, that you could say over and over in your head. So from a scale from 1 to 10 of being 10 super intense, pick something down on the 3 range or something. Something like, they don't care, or he doesn't listen, or I'm bad at math. Any of those judgments, and you could say it for 30 seconds. So I'm not going to do 30 seconds of silence, but I really want you to try this. So pause the video, put on a timer for 30 seconds, and just say it over and over in your head or out loud, and notice what happens to your body. Okay, so a lot of people, when I ask, what do you feel? They say, I feel a tightness in my chest. I feel maybe a tension in my brow, tightness in my jaw. I can't breathe. I feel a little sick, feel sad. That often comes up. Okay, so now you're going to take a breath. And it's not to make the feeling go away, but it's to get the wisdom of it. It's to get to what the need is. So when I have these sensations, then I can replace that with a quick sentence of, I love it when, and you add in the need. So I could say, if my statement of judgment was, they don't care. I could say, I love it when I have care. I love it when I have consideration and kindness. And so take that, oh, there's my cat. So take that sentence and say that over and over in your head for 30 seconds or out loud, the I love it when statement. And you can pause and see what needs that that are underneath that judgment. You can look at the needs list if you want. So you do the I love it when statement for 30 seconds, and you can time that too. Okay, now notice what's in your body. What do you feel? There's not any right or wrong way to feel it, just noticing what it's like when you connect, the felt sense of connecting to needs. And that's what I want for you to take today. So you might, from here, pay attention in the next few days or however long until the next video of what are your emotions? What are your body sensations? What are your thoughts? You could write those down like columns and see if you can connect to some needs that they might be. Just make a guess. Look at the needs list, look at the feeling list, and see what kind of practice and what kind of learning. I would love to know what comes up for you, what this was like. So please put it in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm doing a video every week, and you'll see the links and some other ones to look at. And thanks so much for sharing your heart with me today and practicing these habits of connection with me. See you next time. But I can't carry all this weight alone. Carry all this weight alone. And lately I'm working, but if you call my phone, I'm always here, we gotta be alone. Lonely together, I do it.